Hello everyone. In the last video we talked about strings and how to define strings in Python. In this video we will talk about built-in functions provided by Python for string data type. Okay, if you just do help of string str and if you execute this will show you the entire documentation for various string functions. If you just want the list of string function, we can use this, say print dir of string. Okay. So this will show you which are the built-in functions available for strings. So we have various functions like lower, upper, capitalize, isNumerate, isLower, and all these things. Let's try to cover some of them. Okay, so we'll start with format function. Let's say you have a variable number 1 is equals to 100. You have number 2 is equals to 200. Okay, you want to print something like this. Print, let's say, value of num1 is. Now to print the value of variable, you can put a semicolon and define the variable name. Okay, and something like this, value of num2. Okay, comma num2. Now if I execute this, so it will show me the value of num1 is 100 and the value of num2 is 200. Okay, but this is not the recommended way of printing the values. Okay, so in that case we can go with format method. Alright, so how to print the result or how to define a string with a format method. So all you have to do is, let's say value of num1 is, here I want to put the value of num1, so I'm putting one empty placeholder, so I'm specifying curly brackets and I'm just saying value of num2. Not bad. Okay, so I'm saying value of num2. Here I want to print the value of variable num2, so I'm putting another placeholder for this. Okay, so this is one string. Now we have one method called format, and here you just need to specify the variable names for which you want to print the value in place of these placeholders. So here I'm just saying num1 comma num2. Okay, if I execute this, now it will say value of num1 and in this placeholder it will put the value num1 and for this it will print the value num2. Okay, if you want to reverse, let's say here you want to print the value of num2 and here you want to print the value of num1, you can specify the indexes also. So defaultly this num1 is having index 0 and this num2 is having index 1. So if I do not specify this, it is something like this, 0 and 1. Okay, now I'm saying instead of num1 I want a value of num2 here. Okay, and that should be 1. Okay, and I want value of num1 here. Okay, so I just want to swap the values. So now if I execute this, so in first placeholder it will display the value of variable num2 now, and for the second placeholder it will show the value of num1. Okay, so this is the second way, so you can now specify the index. Okay, now let's say you have various variable, let's say 5, 6 or 10 variables you want to print inside a format, you want to format a particular string. Now in that case it is not advisable to go with your indexes. Okay, so in that case you can specify some keywords for each variable. So here let's say this is my num2 and this is num1. Okay, here I need to use same keywords. To avoid the confusion, I'm putting it as val2 and val1. Okay, Now I need to use same keywords here. So here I am saying val1 is equals to num1 and val2 is equals to num2. So now execute this. So using this way, I don't have to remember and I don't have to calculate what is the index of a particular variable. Okay, so I can just specify the keyword, what exactly I'm looking for to be printed here, and I can specify the keyword. Okay, so this is the first method, that is format. Okay, let's move forward. Let's say you have a string s is equals to Python sample string. You want to convert it to the uppercase. I am saying something like s1 is equals to s dot capitalize. Okay, and let's just print the s1. Okay, so what this will do, it will convert the first character to the uppercase and all characters will be in lowercase. Okay, so one important point here, whenever we give a call to this capitalize function, it will return a new string. Okay, even now if I assign it to the same variable, okay, alright, so I change it to s here, let's change it to s here also. Okay, so now it is returning me the capitalized version of this string, but that doesn't mean I am modifying the original string. Okay, in last video we discussed strings are immutable. That means if I define a string at a particular memory location, I cannot change that string at the same memory location. Okay, so if I go and check the ID of this s before converting to the capitalized casing, okay, so I'm saying print ID of s. I'm copying the same statement, and after this print, I'm printing the ID again. Okay, so you can see the memory location for both strings will be different. So even though you are assigning it to the same variable name, but internally it is storing into different memory location. Why? Because strings are immutable. Okay. Similarly, we have functions like upper, lower, title, so I'm taking the same string. So if I just say print s dot upper, it will convert the entire string into uppercase and it will return the new string. Similarly, I can use this lower, so I'm just saying s dot lower. If I execute this, I'll get the string in a lowercase. And lastly, we have title. Okay, so what title will do? It will convert first character of every word to uppercase. Now let's say you have a string and you convert it to, let's say, capitalize or a uppercase or a lowercase, or let's say you have a string and you want to check if it's in uppercase or not. Okay, so for that Python provides built-in functions. So all you have to do is s dot is upper. Okay, so now this will return the boolean value. If it's in uppercase, it will return true, but now it's in capitalized case. Okay, so that's why if I check s dot is upper, it will return me false. Okay, so if I just write s is equals to s dot upper, and now if I execute this, so now it will return me the true answer. Similarly, we have is lower. It will check if the string is in lowercase or not. Okay, now this will return true, and same thing I can do with title also. If I execute this, and this is title. Okay, this will return me true. Keep in mind we do not have function is capitalized. Okay, so we have is upper, we have is lower, is title, but we do not have anything is capitalized. Okay, so you can try writing this function. So all you have to do is just compare your string with the capitalized version of the string, or another logic you can use, check if the first character is in uppercase and remaining characters are in lowercase or not. If yes, you can return true, else you can return false. Okay, alright, moving ahead, let's discuss something, split and join. Okay, I have a string which contains HTML, CSS, Python, let's say Java, or let's add Django as well. Okay, so whenever I will iterate over a string, I am iterating over characters. But now let's say I have a string which contains comma separated values. Okay, now I want this HTML as a one element, CSS as a one element, Python as a one element. Okay, so for that I want to split it into a list. Okay, so we have function called split. So you need to specify how you want to split. So I'm specifying split on the basis of comma. So if I print it, so now it will give me a list and all these elements will be separate. If I specify something which does not exist in the string, so now I'm saying split on the basis of space, but space is not present in the string. Okay, ultimately I will get a list. Okay, so entire string will be one element of the list, but the final result will be a list always. So now let's say you have this list and you want to join it back to form a string. Then in that case you can use this join function. Now syntax of join is exactly opposite of your split functions. So I want a string, so I'm saying okay, so s1 will be the final string. So in case of a join, so in case of a split, I am specifying at the end how, on the basis of what I want to split this string. So here in case of join, first I need to specify how I want to join the elements of this list. Okay, so I'm saying put a space in between two elements, dot join, and I need to specify which list I want to join. So I'm saying join this list element. So if I print S1, now I will get a string from this particular list. Okay, moving ahead, let's say I have one string S. I have one string as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I'm looking for is, if someone gives me a sample string, let's say Python sample string ABCD. Okay, what I want is, I want to replace all ABCD character with 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it is A, it should be replaced with 1. If it's B, it should be replaced with 2. If it's C, replace it with 3. If it's D, replace it with 4. Okay, so in that case we can make use of functions like makeTrans, okay, and translate. Okay, so you will create a mapping using makeTrans, and for actual translation you will use this translate function. So how to use it? So I'm creating a table first, or a mapping table we can say. So let's say table is equals to dot makeTrans. Okay, I'm specifying these two strings, s1 comma s2. Okay, now once I have this mapping table, I want to apply this mapping table on this string. So I'm saying result is equals to s3 dot translate. Okay, and I need to specify the mapping. So I'm passing this table here. Alright, let's just print the result. Okay, so now you can see at the end I have added ABCD. Now it has replaced with 1, 2, 3, 4. Inside the string now I have this 1A. It has replaced it with 1. Okay, so if you want to transform a string based on a particular mapping, then you can make use of this make trans and translate function. Alright, let's discuss index, find and rfind function. Okay, so let's say you have one string. Again, take the same example, HTML, CSS, Python. Okay, you want to check if Python is present or not. Okay, so yes, we can use in operator and it will tell me if Python is present or not. So all I need to do is Python in S. Okay, but now I want index also. I want to know what is the index of this Python. So in that case, I can make use of this index function. So all I need to do is this string dot index, and I need to specify what exactly I'm looking for. So I'm saying Python. Okay, so now it will return me 9. So this will actually return the index of P, that is the starting point of this particular string. Okay, how about if I have multiple occurrences? Okay, so you will always get this 9. Reason, it will start traversing your string from left hand side and it will return the first element, index of the first occurrence. Okay, so that is the reason you will always get 9 even though you have multiple occurrences. Okay, now let's say I specify something like this, Python in a lowercase. Now it is a case sensitive, so if I say Python, now this will throw me an error that substring not found. Okay, next we have something called find. I'm saying s dot find of, let's say, Python. Okay, again this will return 9. So then what is the difference between this index function and the find function? Okay, so the only difference is, for find function, if I specify something which does not exist in the string, it will return me -1. In case of an index function, it will throw you error that substring not found, but in case of a find function, it will return -1. Okay, again your find will also try to search for the string from left side. We have another variation, and that is rfind. So now it will try to search for this string from right hand side. So let me try this. If I say Python, so now it will give me index of this P. Okay, so it will try to search the string from this right hand side. Okay, so this is the index find and rfind. So next few set of functions. Let's say you have a string which contains a lot of white spaces at the start. This is sample string and I have a lot of white spaces at the end. Okay, so this will be very common scenario when you are working with the data which you are getting from your websites or from files. You will get a lot of white spaces at the start and a lot of white spaces at the end. Okay, now it's your job to remove all these white spaces from left hand side and from right hand side. Okay, so for that all you have to do is s.strip, and you need to specify what exactly you want to remove. Okay, so I'm specifying that remove all the spaces from left hand side and from right hand side. If I just say print s1 now, okay, so now you can see I do not have any white spaces. Okay, just to show, I'm adding stars now so that it will be more visible. Okay, so I need to specify here that remove all the stars. Now if I execute this, it will remove everything from left hand side and from right hand side. If you want to remove it from only left hand side, then I can change it to lstrip. Okay, so it will remove only from the left hand side and you will still able to see the stars on the right hand side. If I want to remove everything from the right hand side, I can use rstrip. Okay. Alright. If you're looking for a fixed length string of a particular number, so let's say s is equals to Python. Now I need to convert it to a fixed length string of 20. So all I need to do is s1 is equals to s dot center. I need to specify the number, so I want this to make a string of length 20, and as you can see I do not have 20 characters here, so I need to specify what filler Python should put. Okay, so I'm specifying put star. So if I say s1 now, okay, so it will put a string in the center and it will add extra stars on the left hand side and on the right hand side. Now you can explicitly specify what exactly needs to be added. Okay, so similar to this we have lgist. So it will keep your string on the left hand side and it will add the filler character on the right hand side. And if I change it to rstrip, it will keep my string on the right hand side and it will add stars on the left hand side. Okay, again let's say we have the string html comma css comma python. Okay, you want to replace this html, or let's add multiple occurrences html. Okay, so you want to replace this html with html5. So for that we have a replace function. So I'm saying s dot replace. I need to specify the old string and I need to specify the new string here. So I'm saying put html5. So if I print s1 now, okay, so now it will replace html with html5 for all the occurrence of this html. Okay, so these are some of the important string functions. We can explore more just using help of str, which I told you at start of the video, or if you want the entire list you can say print dir of str. Okay, so that's all about strings. In the next video we will talk about lists in Python. See you in the next video.